Welcome, guys. Welcome to Metro Network International YouTube channel. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create PayPal invoice forward to your clients, your customers for easy payment. So, one of the best way to prevent your PayPal account from being limited, from having all these PayPal limitations on one of them or the other. So, please, you should always embrace the invoice method. So, if you want to receive payment from your clients, try to create PayPal invoice for easy payments. Now, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss lovely updates like this. So let's proceed. Now, first of all, sign into your PayPal account. First of all, we are going to sign up or sign into our PayPal account. So once we do that, right now we are here in our PayPal account. So the next thing for us to do is to create our invoice. Now, before creating your invoice, you must have gotten the information from your client. So go and get the PayPal information that is needed. You need your PayPal, you need your client email address, the possible address for you to forward the invoice to. It has the company details, that's the email, the name, the address, and all of that. In this particular case, we have the email address here. Now we are going to be sending a PayPal invoice of $40 to this particular email address. This particular email address. That's this particular PayPal email address. So now we are going to be creating a $40 invoice to that particular email address. Now, one thing about PayPal is that you can easily make payment and receive payment just with an email address. Are we together? So with an email address, you can make and receive payment. So all you need from your client is the client email address, and you can create and generate an invoice to that email address. So how do we create that email address? Get into your PayPal account. Scroll down, look at what we have here. On this particular section, we can create our invoice. Now click on create invoice. So once you do that, you'll be taken to the page where you can create your invoice without any problem. Now once you're here, the next thing for you to do is to impute the email address of the client or the company. Now we copy this email address we've copied already. This is the client's email address. We copy it. Now, if you want to create an invoice to multiple customers, we can add new customer right here. But we are not doing that. So we go down. Now, you're going to be creating an invoice for a particular purpose. Now, this is where we have the item name. Now, which particular item you're creating that invoice for, either for goods or services, you're creating it for a particular service you rendered, you add the name of that services right here. Are we together? So now, in this particular invoice, it's going to be for sponsored post. And we are going to drop that sponsored post here as the item name. Now, the quantity, that one, two, three, we indicate the quantity right here. And then we indicate the price. Now, the price here is what? $40. No task. Now, if there is any task involved, you include the task here. But in this particular invoice, no task. Now, we go down. Now, description. Here, PayPal will create a particular venue for you to describe the services you rendered to that particular company. So now it's optional. You can put a description or you not, or you don't, sorry, or you don't. So now we have a section for what to describe the services we are actually creating this invoice for. Now in this particular case, it is for a sponsored post. Now how do we do that? So now we are going to get over to where okay, this is what we are doing. This is a description of the invoice we are making. So we copy this, get over here. Take note, it's very optional. It's optional. So you can either put this or you don't, but it depends on what your client is actually telling you based on the description from your client. So you can either put it or you don't put it. Now let's put it right here. And that we have it right here, we move down. Now, if you have any other item you're about to add in your invoice, you add it here. Are we together? You put the quantity, you put the price. The sum total is going to appear right here. Now look at what we have here. You can also add them. Now from here, this is the invoice date. Now you can actually set the particular date when the invoice will be due. Now you can keep it here. The invoice will be due on receipt. You set a particular date or on a specific date or in 10 days time. So you can decide when the invoice will be due for payment. Now I normally prefer it to be on receipt. Now once the invoice has been received by the client, he pays on receipt of the invoice. If you have any discount, you can include your discount here. If you have any discounts, you can include discounts. Are we together? So that's how it is. Now the total is going to appear here, like we said. Allow for partial payment. If you want the invoice, if you want to allow partial payment, you can mark this. Are we together? And then you include the amount that can be accepted as partial payment. If you don't want, you check out that particular section. Now, now, once you're done, if you have any particular note you want to send to your customer, you want to so to your client, any information you want to pass across, now it depends on what is involved in the mail you got. Now, if your client is telling you include this in the notes, in the reference, are we together? So you got to add those particular information here. Without that, your client might not be paying the invoice. So we do that. We don't have any, you can put any information here. So once you're done, you can either preview your invoice. We can preview the invoice. Now look at what we have here. Are we together? Now this is the invoice we've created. So we can now send the invoice to our client. So now the invoice have been forwarded. So the invoice have been forwarded. So we can get the live link for the invoice and forward it to our client to enable him make payment without any stress, without any issues. So we can you click on this particular part on here, this section here. So once you click on that section, you'll be able to generate, you can download the invoice as PDF. Are we together? You can download the invoice as what? As PDF. You can download the invoice as PDF or you copy the shareable link that you can share to your client. You can copy it here, and this is the link you can copy, and then you can share this particular link with your client for easy payment. Now we can get over here and then we post the shareable link. Are we together? Now once you copy and this particular link we've obtained right here, you can get this link to your browser and see what you've done. Now once we click on this, you'll be able to have access to that particular link and the amount to be paid. You can always access the link to check if the payment has been made or it has not been made. Now look at what we have here. This is the link. So now it can be paid or not be paid. Now your client seeing this link will definitely make the payment. Thank you guys. This is how you create an invoice on PayPal account. Now please ensure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any lovely updates and information like this.